Hi, welcome back to City Vision University's Job and Internship Search Strategies course. And in this lesson, I'm going to talk with you about how our course call and time log assignments are going to work. So just to give you a quick overview, and this is an example of the first assignment, but each assignment has a little bit of a description kind of like this. So the first assignment, I'm just going to read it. Using the suggestions from this week's material, research at least 20 organizations and/or job opportunities. If you're in a small town with limited prospects, we encourage you to search more widely to find at least 20 organizations or opportunities. So we have a lot of sites that are listed in this week's lesson that you can use, or you could find your own. Now, if you're seeking a practicum in addiction counseling, you should focus your search on organizations that might have certified addiction counselors that might be certified to provide supervision. So if you're searching for addiction counseling placements, it can be helpful to start with searching for addiction treatment centers in your region in addition to regular job searches. So what we want you to do is record your data in a spreadsheet, and I'll show you that. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to complete, there's different tabs. So you're going to try to complete columns A through E of the contact log tab whenever you're able to get all of the information for all the columns. But in addition, each week you're going to be doing the contact log tab, and then you're going to be filling in the time log tab. And in a lot of different weeks, there's going to be different amounts of time that are expected. So in this week, I believe that the list is for 2 to 3 hours, but in future weeks, there might be different hours. So you're going to need to meet both the numerical time expectations as well as the quality of the opportunities you find, and then upload your spreadsheet. So we'll go to that spreadsheet, and what you'll see is you'll go to this document, and the first thing you see is you make a copy of this spreadsheet by clicking on the File menu and then make a copy. And then you can put, like your name here if you want, Andrew Sears. And then you can, create a copy of that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to search. So if I'm, jobs, so let's say nonprofit, or maybe I'll just do addiction treatment centers near me. And then you could start to, include some of these organizations. So this is the web link, and then free rehab center. Well, I guess this isn't this is a search, so I don't think this is the right thing, but you'd have to actually find a local center. So this is probably better. The Fellowship Center is probably a better example. So I could go to the Fellowship Center, and then I could pull that in. And then I would paste this information in here. And then you are going to look up the phone number on the website and email address. And then part of what the goal is you're not just going to call the random number whenever you're doing cold calling. You're going to try to find someone. So say you're looking for a nonprofit organization and you want to work with youth. So nonprofit organizations near me, and then you find an organization, and you can look in Google here, and Foundation Matthew 633 looks interesting, right? So and then you can try to find more information about it and try to find specific contacts and things along those lines in the organization. Now, treat this as if you're really looking for a job. So you're not just trying to, compile data in here. And so in week 1, you're just going to be doing the first few fields. And if you're able to get a good contact, you want to try to figure out, who's your best contact. If you want, you can put in multiple contacts. And then in week 2, you're going to start to contact organizations. So then you would put in the date and you would say, 5/29/21. And then we've put contact type. So you could do call and left message, called talk to admin, called talk to a good contact, email, contact form. So that's if you filled out a contact form on the website. You did an in-person visit, you completed an application, you actually did an interview, or you talked to someone and they referred you to another opportunity. So you might call a Christian Addiction Treatment Center and they say, you know what, sorry, we don't have any we don't have any practicum supervisors that can do what you want, but we do know some organizations. So whenever you're talking with people, always see if you can find, recommendations, and then you would just keep this log here. So in future weeks, you're going to be filling in the contact log. And then as you're doing that, keep track of your hours spent. So each week in your assignment, there is there's some sort of specification of how many hours. Some weeks it's 2 or 3. Some weeks it might be 4 or 5. And then to summarize your activities. And now as you go through this process, you might have organizations, you contact them and then you realize they're not good anymore. So that's what the removed contacts is about. You can just cut and paste those rows into here, and then you could put in here the reason why it's not an option. Now, I want you to understand the grading rubric for this course is there's 2 parts. One is your time log. So are you meeting the expectation? So if it says 4 hours and you get all 4 hours, then you're going to get 100%. And that's 60% of your grade for that assignment. Now, if it says 4 hours, but you only get, let's say 5 hours and you get 80% of that, so that would be 4 hours, then you're going to get an 80% on your grade. So basically, you're going to get whatever portion on the hours. Now, we don't just care about the quantity of your work. We do care about the quality of your work. So what a good contact log is, what you're shooting for is the 100% or 90 to 100%. So the contact log shows effective research and a sufficient list for your contacts. You have an appropriate number of contacts, so that whenever I'm talking about contacts here, it's actually filling out this portion of the log. And you're focusing a lot on phone calls and applications with appropriate follow-up email. It can be really easy to go to 50 different websites and just fill out their contact form. That's not going to be very good, ways of communicating. So part of the reason why we have, the contact type is we want you to emphasize on making phone calls. We also want you to not just call organizations, because you're going to get a hold of, usually administrative assistant or someone answering the phone. We want you to try to get a hold of the right person. Whenever I say good contact, that might be an HR manager that does hiring in a larger organization, or it might be a program director. And then if you called an organization and you left an email, what you could do is you could just make another row for that organization if you wanted and put email. Or if you want, you could actually just, not use the drop down, and you could say called, talk to good contact, and you can go up here and say and email. And then you can see that it added there. So each week, that's how you're going to be graded, and you can see the details. And the real goal, this is a learn by doing course. So like I said, this is kind of like learning to ride a bike. You're going to get, graded on, are you, spending time on the bike? That's how you're going to do this. But also we want you to not just ride the bike, but ride it, as effectively as possible. So each week, some of this is going to be hard. We're making you do things that you may not be comfortable doing. Doing cold calls is hard for anyone. And part of what we want to do is provide you with coaching. So, ask your faculty member in your forums. You can contact them through Populi or also in the live meetings. So if you have any questions, just contact your faculty member. Thanks a lot. Bye.